Hello everybody, today's clip is supported by Sleeper. Before we dive in, let me tell you a bit more about Sleeper. This app is making serious waves. It was the #1 downloaded sports app in the US during the NFL season, even beating heavyweights such as ESPN and Yahoo. Sleeper isn't just popular, it's because they truly deliver the best fantasy experience. You get deeper customization, more league options, and all the bells and whistles that make managing your fantasy team a blast. But that's not all. Sleeper is growing a fantastic community with several million people using it daily for their sports fix. Sleeper has a broad appeal and is genuinely built for everyone. So, if you're looking to up your fantasy game, make sure to check out Sleeper by clicking the link in the video description. Trust me, you won't regret it. Hello everybody, good morning. Welcome to the United Stand. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your latest Manchester United news as Ruben Amorim is piled on by a disgraceful media. We'll be talking about that. Spin, spin, spin. What a surprise. Lots to get into this morning. Apparently we're going to buy Victor Osimhen. That's a surprise, isn't it? The morning after another defeat. We're going to be talking a little bit about, well, we've got loads to get into this morning. I mean, the mainstream are even saying Gary Neville shouldn't be on Man United games anymore. I just think that we are on the verge of something very important within this fan base, and you pick your sides and you take your choice. Look, I also want to talk about this tactical bullshit. Desperately want to talk about that. I mean, I just think that I said it in the watch along yesterday. There's so many people who have opinions on Man United, and they're just so weak. They're so thin. They don't actually stand up to any level of scrutiny. I don't like the tactics. It's like an under-9s team. All right, what formation would you go with? Oh, I'd go with a back four. Well, let's break that down and show you why that's completely and utterly stupid as well. I mean, we've got an aggregator account on Twitter this morning that's apparently had a phone call from Qatar saying Qatar want to buy the football club. Distraction, idiots. You've got most websites and other creators this morning going, Amorim wants Osimhen. And you think, oh my God, do you really support Man United? Or are you actually just a moron? Like, what are you doing? Spending time talking about the validity of Amorim wanting Osimhen the morning after yet another loss when our club is in the fucking sewers and we've just missed out on the January transfer window, and you're talking about some fantasy story for the summer. And you wonder why we are where we are when we've got people in the fan base who want to go, United are after Amorim. Wow, United are after Osimhen. Amorim wants Osimhen. Oh, well, if we had Osimhen up front, we'd be cooking next season. Oh, I think we'd be fighting for the league. So, yeah, Man United want Osimhen. Amorim wants Osimhen. And if we had Osimhen, we'd be cooking, man. We'd be absolutely up for it. We'd be fighting with Liverpool for the league. Yeah. Cover, spin, spin, spin. Get the sawdust out. Cover up the blood. Everything's fine. Look, if you want change at this football club, stop swallowing the crap. Osimhen in the summer, what's that got to do with the fact that 2 weeks ago, we ignored the transfer window, we've now got hardly any players, and we've got 4 months left of the season, and we're talking about Osimhen for next season. I mean, this is why we fail. You walk into the traps set for you by this ownership that they've been setting for 10 years. A decade they've been doing this. Man United lose a game, make them think about the future, don't make them think about the now, because if they think about the now, we're in trouble. I mean, Osimhen, look, what does it even mean, Amorim wants Osimhen? Tell me what it actually means. What does that actually mean on February the 17th when we could have got him 2 weeks ago? What does Man United want Osimhen mean now? Why is that a story anything other than distraction and spin? And anybody who's putting it out there like, oh, Man United want Osimhen, or starting a video, Man United want Osimhen, let's talk about what Osimhen would bring to the team, because Xerxes and Rasmus can't do the job and we need a world-class striker. Do we? Do we need a world-class striker, do we? Is that it? Is that what we need? We need a world-class striker and everything's going to be okay. Just the same as Marcus Rashford's the problem, or, if we get rid of Casemiro, we're going to win the league. Grow up. Grow up. Where's the money coming from? Why would you spend the money that's limited on one player? This is bigger than anything. I retweeted this morning about a minute of Ranić 3 years ago. Ralph Rangnick said, this is not one problem or two problem. This is, in a medical term, open heart surgery. But it doesn't need to take 3 years. It can be done in a year if everybody's working together for the same solution and outcome. That was 3 years ago from a guy that knows how to build football clubs. You've got people like Ineos talking about 3 or 4 years. You've got Gary Neville at the end of last week saying you've got to give Ineos 3 or 4 years. Who do you trust? Do you trust Ralph Rangnick, in the last 20 years, one of the top 5 builders of football clubs and systems? Or do you trust Ineos, a petrochemicals company, and Gary Neville? 3 or 4 years, Rangnick said 1 year, if everybody's pulling together and everything is done correctly, you can turn this club around in 1 year. And he said that 3 years ago. And here we are 3 years later with owners that are saying 3 or 4 years. I think I know who I believe, and it's not who we've got in charge. You know what I think might happen? You know why I think Ineos and the Glazers want us to wait 3 or 4 years? Because I think there's something that I think might happen in 3 or 4 years, and I can't quite put my finger on why Ineos and the Glazers would want to slow expectation and standards down for 3 or 4 years. What do I think could happen in 3 or 4 years? I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of regeneration and building project that's going to go on around there that's going to pocket a lot of money for certain people. So yeah, we need to keep the fans quiet for 3 or 4 years. So the project's going to take 3 or 4 years. Yeah, absolutely. I think we all know that this doesn't need to be 3 or 4 years. This doesn't need to be 2 years. This can be a massive turnaround in 6 months if we deliver the summer that is needed. But we all know we're not going to get that summer. And that is why when you get people going, oh, what a great source from Turkey about Osimhen. I mean, can I read you the story, by the way? Just so you know what I'm absolutely ridiculing here, because I find it incredible. But what I find more incredible are the people in our fan base who are pushing this and trying to take distractors, because actually it doesn't matter what Sky Sports say or TNT say or Fabrizio Romano says or DiMarzio says or what anybody says. What matters is how the fan base gets splintered. And, you know, there are protests in a couple of weeks. The club is on its arse. Ineos and the Glazers are sinking it. And everybody's pissed off. But this morning, some people have already splintered off on Osimhen in the summer because people are pushing it out there going, oh, Osimhen in the summer. I mean, if you woke up this morning and saw a story about Osimhen and went, oh, I'm not bothered about what's happening at United now because we might get Osimhen. I mean, do you really support Man United? Have you really got the interests of the club at heart if you have instantly forgotten what's going on at the club to follow your art, you know, to chase an Osimhen story? And the story is this, by the way. Man United and PSG have shown official interest in signing Victor Osimhen this summer and have both made a verbal offer to him on contract and on salary. Both teams have committed to paying his release clause. Ruben wants Osimhen. I mean, it's got more holes than a hedgehog's pillow. So we've offered Osimhen money we don't have. We've told Napoli we'll play the release clause for money we don't have. And we've agreed signing on fee and everything with Victor Osimhen as well. I mean, what a load of absolute spin. What a load of absolute nonsense. We can't afford Tell 2 weeks ago, but now we've offered Osimhen a contract, a signing on fee, and we're paying Napoli's release clause. Yeah. This exactly fits in with a club that might not have any money at all when it's not in Europe in the summer. And also, he's going to pick PSG over United anyway. It's just absolute nonsense. And people wake up this morning and choose to swallow that shit. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And it needs calling out because these sort of things are exactly why we are where we are. Because instead of everybody being together and frustrated and wanting to do something, one day after that feeling, people are going, well, we might get Osimhen in the summer. I'll tell you why we're not going to get Osimhen in the summer. I'll tell you why you shouldn't believe this story right now. Because for all your credibility about that, last week, Laurie Whitwell in The Athletic, who will have been given it by very, very well-informed people, probably at the club, said Man United aren't going for Gyökeres anymore. They don't want to spend £60 million on a 27-year-old. And here we are a few days later, apparently agreeing to pay £60 million for a 27-year-old. Well, it'll be 27 in November. Yeah, I think I'm going to really believe this nonsense. And it's so frustrating. And we get what we deserve. We do. We get what we deserve. I've heard so many United fans say it over the years. We get what we deserve because as a fan base, we cannot unite behind one cause in a million years. Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video because we all know only legends like videos and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching as always.